Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend, Millennial Mike. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Ready for the next round.
Yeah, so I'm going to poke at you a little bit.
Sure.
If people don't know, I would call you a successful real estate investor. You obviously started with a house hack, very expensive market. You were saving up to get another one. Didn't work out. You started doing out-of-state real estate investing. You have four cards to your left there, all out of state. You've done some seller financing. You've done some burrs. You are doing the work. You've actually created content about out-of-state investing in my course as a free bonus section. But I want to talk about your circle, right? Your top friends and, people in your personal network that you see every day or every week. I'm going to guess you have a similar experience to mine. You start buying rental properties, one-off, nobody really knows. Over time, people start seeing you read books. They may hear you listening to podcasts. They start asking you questions. And then at some point, they come to you, probably, like you have figured something out.
Yeah.
And when that happens, you go from being someone who seeks information to someone who provides information. And it's a lot to see. So I'm curious, A, has that started to happen? And B, what's it feel like? Because I thought it was a pretty cool feeling.
I saw a meme the other day, and it was a little video of a guy walking in, like fixing his jacket and looking all cool and everything like that. The caption underneath it said, "When you roll up at your local real estate investing club with more units than anybody else." And I laughed for a second because it's, I recognize that when Dion from Dion Talk and I, we're actually friends. We hang out. We've gone to the shooting range. We live really close to each other. We're both he's a former police officer. I'm still current. He has a local meetup and I attend this thing. And it's cool because I go in and, there's a lot of people there who don't have any rental properties yet. And I get to sit down, and when people ask questions, I've done a thing or two, like farmers. I know a thing or two because I've done a thing or two, and I get to give people good information and good advice. And the majority of these people have seen your videos, have seen Dion's videos. And so they know the terminology like buy box, and they know Michael Zuber from One Rental at a Time. And I get to say, watch this video, read the book. And it's going to help you. And then of course, message me on Instagram or Facebook and I'll help you out any way I can. But it's nice. It feels great to do that. And I've had that not only with the folks at Dion's Tacoma FI meetups, but also people I work with. I think that police officers actually and military folks can make some of the best landlords, because if you have seen the worst that society has to offer, not much phases you. The amount of houses that I've been in before being a landlord that were hoarder houses, or, we're doing a SWAT hit on this just disgusting place. And you're like, well, no matter what the tenant does in my property, it couldn't possibly be worse.
It won't be that bad.
Yeah. So, you make a great landlord and a great investor, especially you have great W-2 income. You're a cop, you get guaranteed income. Usually they're pretty recession proof because, believe it or not, crime goes up during a recession. Banks love to lend to you. Military, you may even have better loan programs possibly for a house hack. And so, when folks come to me and they say, well, as you mentioned, yeah, okay, I recognize you got one rental, two rental, three. How many are you at now? Yeah, I'm at 8. You're at 8? You're at 8? 8? Like, yeah. Well, shoot, how do I help? And I've helped a few of my friends pick up their first rental or two in the same area as me, or buy a house hack property in this area.
Yeah. That's awesome. So let's talk about what kind of questions are you getting from these folks? As you've been at this now for several years, they now see you have 8. They're amazed because you're still a young guy, right? You're just You're just a baby. You're
31. 31. Yeah. That's not a baby, but I mean,
dude, you're younger than my daughter.
Really?
So yeah.
You could be my dad, Mike.
No, that would be bad. That'd be bad for you. But anyways, it's what are you telling them, right? Because again, you start this journey. It's now 2022. Let's talk about your cop buddies, right? So again, my opinion, this could be way off, but I believe a lot of people join law enforcement because I believe, and if I'm wrong, just tell me, there's a pension at the end of the rainbow.
Yes,
right?
Very much so.
And that's okay. I mean, public service, you put your life on the line every day. I get it. But a lot of you come into this like, hey, in 20 years, I have this thing, which is great. You've earned it. Why the hell would they become landlords? Why would they want to do that?
That's a great question. And actually, I have been building a catalog of pension bust videos and pension like problem videos. I was trying to figure out if I should talk to you about them or maybe Dion, because he's taken on IRAs, 401ks, and pensions. If you know anything, unfunded pension liabilities is a major catastrophe that many states are facing in our country, where they can't pay out the pensions. And you're right, so many people come into the job that I have with, because we have a pension. I have one of the coveted government pensions. You work 25 years and you get the pension. You can retire at any age. You get hired at 18 and retire at 43, so long as you get 25 years on with the department. That sounds extremely attractive, and it is to a lot of people. But ultimately, I think that the pension pales in comparison to what rental properties can do for you. And you're not beholden to any governmental institution or agency or political party making the wrong or right choices on your behalf. And so I don't trust Social Security. I don't think it's going to be there for me. I don't trust a pension. I don't think it's going to be there for me. But yes, so many people have come in saying, what are you doing? Usually the first question I get is, after you do real estate and how many rentals do you own? Oh, those are all out of state. Well, do you use a property manager? Yes. Yes, I do. I am not the expert in the local laws out there. I can't make the trip out there. I don't want to handle it or deal with it out there. I use a property manager. Okay, well, how did you find a good one? And this is pretty much what my whole channel is based around. It's all out-of-state real estate investing, building the team, assessing the market, figuring out who you should work with, what you should buy, because it's a very long conversation that I have with these people. But ultimately, really out-of-state real estate investing, as I tell them, comes down to the two most important things. Number one, the most important people that you can have in another market is other investors. That is the most important part of your networking team. You need to know other people who aren't trying to sell you something, who aren't trying to get money from you, who have already done the hard work of making mistakes in that market, and they will help you by sharing their resources with you, their references, their people, their managers. And then you get to skip to the end and use good people. Then from there, after you've built the network of other investors, the next most important person is your property manager. And that's what I tell everyone. And what helps the people that I know in person is they know I'm not going to lie to them. We've been friends for years. And I'm just going to say, use this property manager, use this real estate agent. Here's your contractor. Start calling these people and network with them for a little bit. And that helps get them over the hump. They see the proof of concept with what I'm doing. And then they don't have to go and find all these people just by Googling, or as you put in the video a few times ago, phone booking, who's going to be reliable or not out of the yellow pages.
Yeah, Yellow Pages is a big, thick book. Go Google it. You'll see what it is. Yeah, so that's a lot of fun. I love that you've added the bonus content to the course, because I have zero experience and I seek experts in other areas. So thank you for doing that. I think it's pretty wise. I mean, there's a lot of people that come into you're putting your life on the line, right? For, the rainbow's 25 years away. Yep. But I think it's the same thing with, W-2 workers at a tech job. A lot of them are betting on 40 years of a 401k. Mm-hmm. Well, what happens if you retire in a recession? What happens if you do this? Well, just, I talk about getting to 4 all the time. Mm-hmm. You don't have to get to 8, but if you get to 4, 1 every 2 years, you're going to have options. Mm-hmm. And that's really what it is. Get to 1, then get to 4. If you want to get past 4, great. But I think your life changes at 4. What do you think of that?
100%. So it's so funny to look back on our friendship. A lot of people have watched you, and you've gained a lot of new subscribers recently. I'm one of the original fans of your channel. I met you before you had 2,000 subscribers. One of the very first interviews you did with anyone else was me. I was like number 2 or 3. And I had just bought my first rental property.
I remember you put out a post, I think it was on Facebook, of a key.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I remember.
I'm holding the key, just closed on my first house hack. And you sent me a message. This was in one of Graham Stephan's Facebook pages. Yeah. And we were both members of it. And you sent me a message saying, can I interview you about it? I said, sure, but I want to interview you too for my crappy YouTube channel with nobody on it. And you said yes. And you gave me the advice that I should network more. And you gave me the advice that I should look into seller financing. And so within just a couple of years, I had networked a ton more, gone into out-of-state real estate investing, bought a couple of rentals, and done a couple seller finance deals. Then I had you back on the channel and we talked about, okay, I've made it to 4. what's my next goal and why? And you and I have a video that it talks about how I need to get to 10. And I have that video saved and I've got clips of it cutting up so that I can prove you wrong. Because you were like, Mike, you know, you should get to 10 probably within the next 4 years. Well, I got to 8 in 1 year. So I'm hoping to juxtapose that in an interview with you and be like, Mike, you're wrong. You said 4 years. What are you talking about? But I still got to get 2 more.
I have never looked forward to being wrong more.
Ultimately, I think what's important for people to take away from this, why yes, it's cool, it's humbling, it's amazing to be able to help other people and see them start their journey. I remember what it was like when I was at my first one. This is why you should buy the course. I became friends with Mike before he published the first book. This is the second book. I got the PDF version of the first book and read through it and let him know what I thought. He didn't have the course yet. I had to do it the old school way of just watching every single video, all of them. And the information that I gained, the people that I met, the books that I read, all helped me get to a point where I've picked up 8 rental properties in 3 different markets over just a 4-year period. I'm hopefully going to retire by the time I'm 35. I'm 31 right now. And I'm going to blow any pension or any 401k out of the water. I'm just going to annihilate the thing. So if you want that type of success, buy the course, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and you can make that happen for yourself too.
Yeah. And again, the beauty about what we're doing here, real estate investing is a journey. It's actually pretty well documented, right? The path up the mountain is really well worn. That's what drives a lot of people crazy. What you're doing now, you're at, I don't know, stage 1, stage 2, whatever. I might be at stage 4. You stop wherever you want. This journey we're on is not hard. There are some rocky, like don't over leverage, no alligators, you know, things of that nature. Don't bet on appreciation because you get in trouble, but it is really a path that I think anybody can follow. And I love that once you get to a certain point, you could always, everybody can, I don't want to say look down, but again, I'm on a mountain. So it's kind of look over your shoulder and you can pull people up. I have decided in my journey back to kind of some of our earlier discussions, Olivia and I are done going fast. We're going to add a couple more every year. We could certainly add dozens more if we wanted to, but we're comfortable where we're at. We're sitting down. There are people that get to where I am and they want to double and triple. That's your call. You do you. We have both decided to turn around and pull people up. And it's nice to see you at stage 1 or stage 2, pull people up from 0. So keep going, right? Get to 10, prove me wrong. I look forward to liking that video. And 2, keep helping people because that's part of what this is all about. Is moving forward and pulling people up. So Mike, thank you for what you do. Where can people find you?
If you just go on Google, YouTube, or Instagram and type in Millennial Mike, you should see me pop up with all my stuff.
All right. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you.
Thank you.